Hi, everybody. Rob Cootie here, the MLM Solution. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, April 13th. It's currently 10:57 and 10 seconds Eastern Standard Time. As you know, we go live each and every day, as the ticker says, at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We stream live to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, and you can utilize hashtag the MLM Solution. Hashtag, you can see it in the ticker as well. Hashtag the MLM Solution to find us, not only on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, but also on our other social media platforms. And please visit our website, themlmsolution.net, themlmsolution.net. It's a redesigned website that's easier to navigate, full of information and wonderful products that will help you get from point A to point B as quickly, profitably, and as efficiently as possible. And that's what we all want, get from point A to point B. Today's subject matter is going to be a good one, guys. Don't drag your people to their own success. In other words, do not try to drag your people across the finish line. And we're going to take a deep dive and talk about why that is a potentially business-killing, how would you say, admirable goal to help your people. What happens is people get it in their head that, hey, you know what? I'm going to help my people. That's what I'm here for. I'm supposed to help them. Yes, you are. But there's a level of responsibility that falls on their shoulders, not yours. We're going to take a deep dive in all that and more about this important subject here very shortly. With that being said, I'm going to hop off here. See you in a moment.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Hello, everybody. Rob Cootie here. Marie is not going to be with us today. Totally different name, totally different person. Don't know where that came from. I'll blame it on age. How's that? Anyway, the point is that we have a situation today where Marie is missing again today. It's nothing major. She's got personal things that she's taking care of, all good. And she just has run, like the rest of us, she's crunched for time, and she's run into some issues with timing and scheduling. So we just felt it was better for her to focus on what she was doing. And I'm more than capable of handling the show on my own. At least I think I am. You guys might have a different opinion, but you know what? I got total confidence in myself, and I think we'll do just fine. So with that being said, guys, I hope everybody's doing well. Once again, today is April the 13th, and it's currently, let's see here, almost 11:02 or 11:03 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. With that being said, we have an important subject we're going to be talking about today. Don't drag your people across to their own success or across the finish line, however you want to phrase it. Here's the thing, guys. You have a situation where your people are sometimes going to put you in a quandary. They're going to say, well, you're my sponsor. You're my leader. It's your responsibility to help me achieve what it is I want to do. In other words, you're going to end up being a slave to their every demand, to their every need, to their every desire. And guys, that is a recipe for disaster, not only for them, but for you. Your only responsibility as a leader and as a sponsor of that individual is to train them properly and support them when they have a problem. Your job is not to make them successful. Don't let them play that game with you. We talked about that in past episodes. Once again, you can do a search on our YouTube channel, Facebook page, and you can find content reflecting that particular subject. What we're going to be talking about today is that we sometimes as leaders say, I can help that person. Okay, whether it's in a social environment, whether it's in a home environment, whatever the case may be, there are people out there that say, I have the ability, the talents, the connections, the desire, the time to help this person through this issue. And basically what you do is you end up grabbing them by the hand and doing everything for them. And then they get the benefits of your work. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you choose to do. I'm not saying that's bad. But in a business environment, guys, if you're focused on one person, what do you think happens to everybody else that you sponsored? They're going to end up getting upset. You don't have time for them. Why are you helping them more than you're helping me? Oh, you mean they deserve more attention, more help than I do? Well, you got more talent. You don't need my help. Who says? Who said you should do the same for me that you're doing for them? If you're a true leader, if you're an honest person, an ethical person, you'll do the same for me as you've done for them. Now you're in a real pickle. Not only are you in a position where you're going to lose one person, you may end up losing two people. And the biggest disaster in this whole scenario is that you have a chance of losing your own business. You will lose the vision you have. You will lose the established goals in your mind of what you want from this business. For instance, if you want to develop a certain income where you can have a certain lifestyle, all of that is in jeopardy if you try to drag your own people across the finish line. Okay. You got to understand there's a clear way to build this business, and to build it correctly, you have to do what? CCBBA. In other words, consistent, correct business building activity. If you're not doing that, then you're not taking full responsibility, not only for your own future, your own business, but you're not setting the proper example for your downline. Guys, you got to make people stand up on their own feet. You got to make people work for their own results. This is the purest form of capitalism out there. This business model rewards those who do the right things consistently. And trying to drag your people across the finish line is a big, huge mistake and a deterrent in allowing this capitalism model to fulfill your goals and dreams. Okay? The whole purpose of this particular episode is this. It's all on you. On you. You're the one that determines how far you're willing to help. If you go across this boundary that we're talking about today, that is your own fault. There's no one to blame but you. You have to have the backbone, the guts, the balls, whatever you want to call it, to say, hey, you know what? You're not going to play that game with me. Here's the bottom line. When I sponsored you, the only commitment I have is to train you properly, to show you how to get good duplication started, to show you how to get your first check, to teach you the 5 simple steps. Once you've done that, my responsibility is over. Okay. Yes, I can do 3-ways with you. Yes, I can do local events for you, but you have to bring the people to the phone calls. You have to bring people to the Zoom calls. You have to bring people to a local meeting area and put all that together. I show up, I do what I do in support of you, but you have to put the work in. You have to lay the foundation, and I'll take over in the responsibility role that I'm supposed to, and that is to be a true leader and to step up and do leadership things, which is what? To help them out when they do the work to put together an event. Okay? That is the essence of how you're supposed to do it correctly. You cannot allow your downline to manipulate your emotions, your feelings, your position. If you do, you've lost control. Once again, it's your fault, because you've got to have the backbone to stand up and say, no, this is where the line is drawn in the sand. And if they continue to put pressure on you and try to play games with you emotionally, try to emotional blackmail, I'm going to tell other people that you're not a true leader, that you're not doing your part. And there's really nothing you can do. I mean, you can say, well, you can tell them whatever you want, but they'll know the difference between a true leader and in this industry and one that is not. Now, you have to realize that if they go out and do this, you have very little recourse. I'm sure you could go to the company and say, hey, look, this person's spreading bad rumors. This is what took place. They normally do not get caught up in these things, and I don't blame them. They may contact that person and say, hey, you need to stop, or we're going to take your distributorship away from you. I'm not saying they will do that. I've heard of instances where they do, but I've never witnessed that myself. Okay, I've seen the company come in and address issues, bad issues before in the past, but I'm not privy to all the details of those situations. I just know that the company did step in, and I knew that if a company stepped in, it was typically a pretty bad situation. So I really don't know enough to comment on that. I personally have not seen or experienced a company stepping in on behalf of other people in this kind of environment with the subject matter we're talking about today. Other subject matters, yes, I've seen companies do that, but I'm talking about where there's a conflict between upline and downline, okay, leadership, distributors, whatever you want to call it, all right? It's got a lot to do with the accusations, how serious they are, et cetera, et cetera. So the thing is that you have a situation here where they may go out and say, well, I'm going to badmouth you. I'm going to slander you. I'm going to tell people. In their mind, it may be truthful, or they're just vengeful, mean people that are bent on getting revenge because they didn't get their way. And so if you, once again, if you give in to that emotional blackmail, what do you think is going to happen down the road? How do you think that's going to reflect to other people that you've sponsored when the word gets out? It is not going to be good for you. People admire somebody that will stand up for themselves. They will admire someone that stands up for ethics, that stands up for doing the right thing. People will say, you know what, Rob did the right thing in that situation. And what is the right thing in this situation? Guys, it's nothing more than cutting that person off. Because look, they're going to drain all the positive energy, all the positive mental focus that you have if you allow them. My point being, you get up one day, you're feeling good, you're feeling energetic, you're feeling focused, you're ready to go, you're ready to work towards your goals, you're really fired up today, you feel like it's going to be a great day, you got plenty of sleep, you got all kinds of energy, and you really feel good. And then they call, and they have you on the phone for an hour. When you hang up the phone, you are mentally fatigued. You may not be wore out, but you're fatigued. Now you've lost your focus. You've lost your desire and your energy to move forward. You're questioning your position as a leader. You're questioning your commitment to this business, to your future. Is it really worth it? You know, if I have to deal with people like this or go through things like this, is this really what I want to do? Okay. When you have a job, you convince yourself that you have to put up with these kind of situations. But when you have your own business, there's always that little voice right back here that says, you can quit anytime, you know, and it's so soothing. And you're like, you know what, you're right. I could quit anytime. Whoa, I can relieve this pressure that I feel. I don't have to deal with people like this. And you know what, having a job is not that bad. You know, I think I'll go back there and let the bosses above me deal with all this pressure where I can just go in and do my job, okay, with no pressure. Guys, that little voice is going to be right there. You can quit anytime. Guys, the bigger your dream you have, the bigger commitment it's going to take. Sometimes your dream is going to be this big and your commitment is going to have to be that big to get that, okay? It's all about a price to pay. The thing is, unfortunately for all of us, we really don't know the price we have to pay. We have some idea. Don't get me wrong. We certainly have some idea of what we have to do, what we have to go through, the time frame, et cetera, et cetera. But as things unfold, you're thinking to yourself at night, golly, I did not expect that. Man, this has been a tough day. I had a rough day. I did not see this coming. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. You're going to have these mind games. That's a reason why you cannot afford to have someone like this trying to play emotional blackmail and games with you that will add even more frustration, more mental fatigue, more physical fatigue, and you're just dreading them calling back. And I promise you, if you give in to them, they're going to be calling back. They're going to take up your total time, and I exaggerate not. I've seen this play out many times. I never allowed it in my business. I can tell you without any doubt, I have not allowed this in my business. I focused on the people that were moving ahead, the people that were working, the people that were committed, the people that really wanted something out of life. And they saw this business model as a way to get what they wanted, and they were willing to do the work. Those are the positive people I want to be around. Those are the people that spew off the positive energy that I also spew off when I'm in that groove, that positive groove, that success groove, that moving ahead groove, okay? And when I'm around people like that, I'm energized, I'm focused, I'm laughing, I'm having a good time. I get around other people and you can start to question yourself. I don't care how strong you are mentally, I don't care how strong you are emotionally. if you deal with enough of these people on a regular basis, they will wear you down. There's a reason why during war they use all kinds of psychological warfare, if you will, tactics to wear down even the strongest person. But people in the prisoner war camps went through a tremendous amount. We hear about the torture, but you got to also understand the mental and spiritual and physical strain they were under all the time, especially if they were a leader and the enemy felt like they had valuable information that could help the enemy win the war. They would really put these guys through things that's unspeakable and unimaginable to us. Okay. But the thing is, even the strongest willed person, a lot of times has a crack. All right. And they work hard to find that crack and then to break that person. Well, guess what? When you're in this business, if you allow someone to manipulate your emotions, your crack in your psychological makeup could be exposed. In other words, Rob, you need to quit this business. You're talking to yourself at night when everything's calmed down. You really don't need to put up with this. This little mind is just sitting right there. This little person, this negative, Mr. Negativity or Mrs. Negativity, whatever you want to call it, Mr. or Mrs. Doubt, whatever it is going to be sitting there when you have some idle moments, and they're going to be saying, you're not cut out for this. You don't have to put up with this. Okay? Quit. And you're going to have that constant battle, as I said. So in order to avoid that, in order for you not to go through that psychological ups and downs, the warfare and all that, cut these people out of your business. If they start doing that, if they start laying their success at your feet and telling you that you're responsible, that you're the leader, and it's your job to make them successful and to help them, then guess what? You have a moment where you can take control, and you've got to have the guts to do that. Now, let me clarify that previous statement I just said. When they say it's your responsibility to make me successful, that's wrong, period. Okay, when they say it's your responsibility to help me, that is true to a certain point. Remember, we did a show, and if you're not familiar with it and you haven't watched it, go back and watch. It's called They Move, You Move. Okay, that is a vital piece of what we're talking about today. What does that mean exactly, Rob? Here's what I'm saying. It's like a chess game or a checkers game. You can't move until your opponent moves. Once your opponent moves and you make your move, once your opponent moves, they're waiting for me to make my move. They only get one turn, one for one. One person moves, the other person moves. One person moves, the other person moves. Okay? In chess or checkers, you don't get 2 for 1. In other words, Rob gets to move 2 times to your 1. That's not how the game is played. That's not how the rules are set up. Each person gets 1 move, but they have to wait for the other person to move. All right? Well, it's no different in this industry. You're not responsible for their success. You do have a responsibility to help them, but they have to move first. The only time your responsibility picks up to help them out is when they put together a local event and they have 10 people there or 5 people there. Okay. If they have people there, then guess what? As a leader, if you can make it there, if you could drive there, you could fly there, as long as there's not a scheduling conflict or whatever, but you want to set these things up well in advance. You can't have them calling you on Monday saying, I'm setting an event on Friday, and they live in Cleveland, Ohio, and you live in Louisville. Okay. That is too short of a notice for you to pick up and to run up there to do a meeting. Okay. You have to work together and you have to set up a schedule at least 10 to 14 days in advance. So that because Rob has other people. If he's building a business aggressively, he's helping other people too. People that are doing their part. And then because they're moving first, in other words, putting together an event, Rob, will you do a Zoom call? I've got 10 people that I want to get on a Zoom call with you. Can you help me do that? Yes, absolutely. Let's set it up. Okay. Rob, I'm going to be doing a local event in Lexington, Kentucky, which is 60, 70 miles from Louisville. Okay. Can you come down here and do a meeting? I'm going to have about 15, 20 people. Okay. Do you have a firm commitment on those 15, 20? Yes, I do. Now, I know going down there, some life happens. Some people are not going to show up. It's just the way it is. Okay. But to go down there because these people work in the business, they put themselves out there, they organize this event, They invited these people. They assured these people that Rob was going to be the featured speaker. Okay, we set this up in advance. They just don't call me out of the blue. Okay, but the thing is, when I say, yeah, sure, I'll do that for you. Guess what? We say, okay, let's pick a date together. Let's look at our calendars. Okay, we'll do it here. Where are you planning on holding this? Well, I'm going to do it here, Rob. Well, that's not a good idea. I don't think that's too cramped. That's too dingy. Let's look for a place that's brighter, has sun coming in, whatever the case may be. Or maybe we're going to do it in the evening instead of during the day. Maybe we're going to do it on a weekday instead of a weekend. There's so many things to iron out. Okay, so you can't have somebody just pulling your string and saying, well, I'm in Cleveland. I've got 100 people and you need to be here. You're like, no, we haven't discussed this. I've already got other commitments. Well, no, you don't understand what I said. I already put a deposit down and I've got 100 people coming. My reputation's at stake. Well, I'm sorry. You're the one that put this together without ever talking to me. Okay, I have other people I have to work with. I've put 100 people together. I put money, non-refundable money down that I can't give. They'll try every trick in the book. More times than not, you're going to get 80% of your money back. Some companies will keep your money, 20% of it, and some people or some companies will give 100% back. But the point is, guys, is that you have a situation where nothing is etched in stone unless you're dealing with somebody that's just unscrupulous and to be honest with you, a scammy type person that won't give you your money back. No, I ain't give you money back. This is the way it is. Okay, well, you know what? You lost your money. I don't know what to tell you. You were dealing with somebody that you shouldn't have been dealing with, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, the reason I go that depth in an example like that, because I don't want you to run into situations and not know what to do. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from witnessing these things. I've never really had that where I lost all my money. I've had to cancel events, and usually you get 8% of your money back because they have expenses in setting up things, and they lost a potential rent on that particular room or whatever it is that you were renting out. So normally when you go to sign a contract to, like you're going to do at a hotel, and you're working with the people that set up events in the hotels, there is a standard form that you're going to be signing. Check that standard form and see what the guidelines are in there. A lot of times it'll make it clear it's 80-20. Sometimes, in other words, make sure you're not losing all your money. Make sure that you ask, hey, what happens if, we have to cancel the event? What is the refund policy? What is that I'm responsible for, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you need to make sure that you know what's going on. Setting up events is not just something as simple as picking up the phone saying, I'll take it. Because if you make that commitment, you don't know what you're committing to, especially if you're dealing with a kind of fly-by-night hotel or event center or whatever that may be local. Local is different than national, national chains, in other words. So there again, I'm getting a little bit off track there, but this is part of the discussion of what not to do, what to do. And it all starts with dealing with a person that has said, I've got 100 people coming Friday in Cleveland. I've rented a hotel room and they tell me I can't get my money back. You got to be here. You know what? They're going to try. And to kid you not, they are going to try this. And it is a tremendous amount of pressure if you allow the pressure to get to you, because you didn't set up the event and they did not call you. They're trying to manipulate you because they say in their mind to themselves, Rob is responsible for my success. I'm going to set up this. I'm going to do that. You have people out there that are take control type people, and they feel like everybody else is around their universe. Okay. They're the center of the universe, and everybody else is a play toy in that universe, and they will do what that person wants them to do. And if they are the type of person that has been getting, whatever they want for most of their lives, they're going to come into this business expecting the same thing. Once again, you got to have the guts, the balls, the strength to stand up and say, no, I am not doing this. Okay. Now, in this scenario, if they were to call me, even if I was starting out and I've only sponsored 15 or 20 people so far. Okay. And they were they had put together this 100-person event in Cleveland, and they're demanding that I be there. And I already have another appointment in Cleveland. Another appointment that the same Friday in Lexington. I'm going to Lexington. Okay. Not because it's closer, but because the person in Lexington worked with me. We set it up weeks in advance. We picked a place that was bright, that was easy access. We did it on a Friday during the evening. It's something that has a positive vibe to it, and they may not have 100 people. They may only have 15 to 20, but guess what? The whole atmosphere is going to be a lot more positive and have more positive energy than the place in Cleveland. Okay, number one, getting to Cleveland is not easy unless you fly. Getting there, based on where they host the event, if it's not in a good part of town, that's not going to be a good thing. Chances are you're not going to get a lot of people that come into a bad part of town. And it's not just Cleveland, it could be anywhere. I mean, there's certain parts of Louisville that you do not hold events in. Okay, it's just not safe for everybody. And I wish it wasn't that way, but you got to deal with reality. And the reality is there's certain parts, especially at night, and even if in today's world, even at night, I mean, even during the day, you can have challenges. We've had some people that have been held up at gunpoint to take their cars right outside of Planet Fitness during the day in one of the most populous and busiest business environments around. So it wasn't like this was in some dark alley or that it was off a main road. This was during broad daylight. Walked up with a gun, told her to get out of the car, and took her car. And it's happened more times than not. Okay. Now, the reason I bring that up is some of you will be able to relate what I'm talking about. If you're going to a strange city that you've not been to before, I've been to Cleveland, but I haven't been to all parts of Cleveland. And so I don't know if the person calls me and says, I got 100 people coming and they give me an address, I have to go online, but I really have no clue whether that's a safe environment, not just for me, okay, but for the people that are attending, all right? So there's a lot to consider, and for somebody to throw you on the spot and then spur of the moment, demanding that you be there is a bad recipe, okay? It is not going to be good. There's going to be a lot of negative energy. You could be in a part of town that may not be as safe as you would like. That's going to have negative energy and concern about it. It's going to be in the back of your mind. You don't know under what conditions these people were brought there because there was no discussion prior to this event. How are you going to invite people? What are you going to say? What are you doing? What is it you need me to address? None of that has been discussed. If I go up to Cleveland, I really have no idea how to help this person because we have had no discussion on what subject matter needs to be addressed. Okay, what are these people coming here for? What are they wanting to learn? So, excuse me. So the thing is that you have a situation where this whole example could be a recipe for disaster, and all in the name of trying to drag your people across the finish line to success. Okay. Now we talked about with that person that you just sponsored, who's an overbearing, very demanding individual, is trying to convince you through emotional blackmail that their success is dependent upon your activity in support of them. Okay. And as I just clearly defined, as we summarize this example, we'll move on to the next one. Is I clearly define your only responsibility as their sponsor, their leader, is to train them properly, ensure that they understand what good duplication is, showing them how to get their first check, preach to them to master the 5 simple steps to networking success, and that you're there to answer any questions that they may have about the 5 simple steps, and that you are there to do 3-ways with them, Zoom calls with them, local events if necessary. The point is that you want to make sure that you clearly define what your support is, that they have to do the work. You're the one that has to organize and set up the Zoom call. We have to talk in advance. Okay, this is how I will support you in your progress. Okay, so I just wanted to summarize that to make sure it's clear what your role is, and don't allow them to play emotional blackmail with you. Now, the rest of the story on don't drag your people to their own success is if you are the type of person, as I stated in the beginning of this, if you are the type of person to where you take control and you say, well, you know what, this person needs a new house. Okay, I'll help them. And so not only do you, because of the type of you love helping people, you love making a difference. It's in your nature to do these things. You're a take charge type of person. So you get out there, and the other person's kind of a slower worker, not really motivated. They're tickle pink that you're helping them out, but they really have never been in an environment like this. They really not a take charge type person. So you step in. You say, well, I'm here to help them. And it's obvious they don't know what to do. So I think I'll just step in and start helping. And I'll start doing this. And the next thing you know, you've built a whole house, okay, for them. And you look around and you're about the only person that's still there. And you're thinking, what in the world happened? Where'd everybody go? Okay. And you're left with no house for yourself. You're left with no food for yourself because you've been so focused and so dedicated on helping this individual finish their house that you forgot about your own house. Your wife, your girlfriend, whatever's got up and left you. They're taking the kids, the dog, the cat, everybody's gone. And you're like, what happened? What happened? What happened here? Where'd everybody go? I thought everybody was here supporting me and helping me. I'm just trying to help this person have a better life. Do you see the problem with this situation? Your job, you convinced yourself, was to help this person get this house. And you not only helped them get it, but you built it for them, okay? And without you realize, because you're a take charge type of person, you're thinking this is how you help people. No, how you help people is getting together with this person and saying, okay, here's your role. I need you. What are you good at? And you identify what they're good at. You say, okay, I need you to do that. And I need you to have this ready. I need you to have that ready because I cannot help you until you get these things done. Okay, what are you doing? You're putting a certain amount of responsibility on them. They move, you move. They move, you move. Okay, and what you don't want to do is drag them across to their goal because you may lose your own goals in the process. You may lose your family, you may lose your friends, you may lose your money, you may lose your job. You may end up really hurting yourself because you were so focused on making sure this person got what they wanted. Guys, that is a huge mistake. You cannot say to yourself, well, I just sponsored a person today that is a superstar in the making. And then 3 weeks later, they're doing nothing and you're calling them up every day. Why are you not doing something? You got real talent, man. You're a success in this other industry. And man, you just got all the tools. You're a great speaker. You have a great presence. You look great. You have an aura about you that people come to you for advice and help. And they want your opinion. So it's obvious you have all the tools that you could be hugely successful in network marketing. They have everything but one thing: desire, heart. They don't have either one. Okay, I said one thing but two. They don't have the desire. They don't have the heart. Okay, they don't want to go after it. They're intrigued by the business model. They're intrigued by the lifestyle and the money you can present to them. But when they realized what had to be done, and the time it was going to take, they're like, no, I ain't doing that. You know what? No. So yeah, they have all the tools and you're trying to call them every day, man, and trying to convince them, man, you are really good. I'm telling you, you're going to be huge in this business. You just got to get started. Here's what you need to do. Look, I'm here for you. I will help you this. I will help you that. Because I know if I can help you get started, you're going to be huge in this business. And you've got more belief in them than they have in themselves. And you're willing to step over the boundaries, which is going to compromise your situation with your other people that are growing, that are taking their own actions without you trying to drag them across the finish line. But yet, for whatever reason, you're so enamored with this person because they have this potential, this huge potential. Well, guess what, guys? That potential is going to end up hurting you big time. Okay, because once again, you want it more than they want it. And you think to yourself, if I can just convince, not how it works. More times than not, 9 times out of 10, it's not how it works. Your superstars are going to end up being people that you really did not think would end up being a superstar. You're going to have people come from all walks of life, okay? And you're going to be surprised by many of them. And you're going to think, man, as you sit back and look at your successful business, you're going to say, man, I would have never thought that the leaders I have today, when I started building this thing, I would have never thought that any of them would be what they are today. Guys, that is how this business works. Your sole responsibility to yourself, to your future, your family, is to do the CCBBA, consistent, correct business building activity. And part of that CCBBA is not to try and drag your people across the finish line to their own success. If you do, you will take your energy, your focus, and your positivity, and you will put it someplace where you may not get a return at all. You will be drained of all that positive positivity, that focus, that energy, that strength, because all that negativity takes powerful, positive energy to combat. And if you don't have a strong reserve of power, you're going to get sucked into that negativity. One way to keep from getting sucked into it is not to go down that road, is to cut it off at the pass and say, no, it's your responsibility to be successful. This is how we work together. If you don't go by these guidelines right here, then we cannot work together. You must contact me 2 weeks in advance. I don't have time for spur of the moment meetings. I have a full calendar, and we have to talk about what's going to be addressed. We're going to talk about what the makeup is of your audience. How many of them are going to be there? How many have confirmed they're going to be there? Where are you holding this event? Are you doing it online? Are you doing it at a hotel? Are you doing it at an event center, at someone's home? Where are we doing this thing? How safe is it? What kind of neighborhood? Is it well lit? Are we doing it during the day, during the night? You can see there's a lot of correspondence that needs to take place. There's a lot of logistics that have to be worked out. And you have to make sure that you're both on the same page and working together. Okay. And that's how you are supporting your people in the proper manner. Remember, everything you do in network marketing is what? Duplicatable, meaning that you're going to have either good or bad duplication. If you drag your people across the finish line, what message is that sending to your downline? You're going to push people away because some of your sharp, high quality people that are in your organization are going to say, I ain't doing that. No, because they understand the recipe for success. They understand the personal commitment that's necessary to be successful. They understand the personal involvement that it takes to be successful. Nobody can take all the courses for you so that you can get an advanced degree. If you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, a physicist or an astrologer, whatever, you literally have to go to the classes and take the exams. Okay, you might get away with cheating on one exam where somebody else takes it in your name or whatever, but over the long haul, you can't go 4 to 6 years and have someone take all your tests for you. You are going to have a personal involvement in your own success. That is the way the universe is set up. It's the way God set it up. Okay, you don't do this to get this type of results. It's not the way God set up prosperity, guys. The rules of prosperity, the rules for success are ambiguous, and they are constantly fluid. For one person, they're going to have this commitment. Another person will be this commitment. Another person will be even bigger. Everybody has to go through their own success cycles and challenges, okay, and roadblocks in order to achieve what it is they want to achieve. No one person is the same. We're all unique individuals, and we have unique situations that come into our lives, regardless of what we want to do. And success demands a certain level of commitment, understanding, vision, and work ethic. And once again, success can be a cruel teacher, a harsh teacher, but the thing is, it's going to challenge you. It's going to say, if you want me to be your mate, if you want me to be a part of your life, then you're going to have to pay the price. And no one knows what your price is going to be. But part of your price is not dragging someone across the finish line. Okay. The reason I bring these things up, because there's a lot of people out there that really want to help other individuals. They have this honest desire, this burning desire. That's an admirable trait to have. But you can't do things for people. They have to have a responsibility in a part of that process as well, especially in the network marketing business model. Always remember, they move, you move. They move, you move. Okay? And understand your position as a leader, because you do not want that to be compromised at any time. There are going to be times where you're going to be overwhelmed by somebody else's personality. There are going to be times where you admire a person that you sponsor so much that you're afraid to hold them to the same standard you hold everyone else. Guys, you can't do that. And I'm going to tell you, from sponsoring successful business people and other successful people from all walks of life, that sometimes can be a challenging part of the business building process, because you have such great admiration for the people and what they've achieved and the status they have, that you think that you can't hold them accountable to the same things that you hold everyone else accountable to. I will tell you, it is a tough thing. But I will tell you that more times than not in every case, more times than not, they admire you for having the guts to stand up and say, no, this is how it's done. We treat everybody the same. This is how the business model works. If you want to be successful in this business model, I got to treat you the same way I treat everybody else. You know what? You're a rookie at this. If you already knew how to build this business, you wouldn't need me. Okay. And guess what? It's all about the team environment. This is uniquely different than anything else you've ever done. And I'm here to help. I'm here to help you navigate, not do it for you. I'm here to help you navigate through that. That's why we work together as a team. Okay. So I hope I made these points very clear. I hope you understand that you cannot drag your people across to their own success, because you will jeopardize your own future and your own success in the process. And more times than not, it is going to have a major negative effect on your business and your life. It is not something you want to do. It is not something that you want to promote to happen in your organization. And if you catch one of your downline doing it, guess what? Send them to this video. Let them watch this video, and they're going to find out firsthand why you don't want to do these things. All right. With that being said, guys, we've come to the close of our show. Here we are. Tomorrow's subject: why you want to have great but reasonable expectations for your business. Why you want to have reasonable, great but reasonable expectations for your business. Look, if your expectations are too high, you're setting yourself up for a great emotional downfall, one that could be so devastating that you may not recover from it. And you don't want that to happen. You want to have you want to have great expectations for your business. Hey, this is what I want to achieve. This is something I've never done in my life, but I know in this business model I can make that happen. You want to have great expectations, but they must be reasonable, okay? Because you can always adjust your dreams as you go along. Set reasonable goals and dreams in the beginning. And then as your momentum picks up, as your confidence picks up, then you can move those expectations. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. As you can see, that is a great subject that no one else talks about. So join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Facebook page and YouTube channel to learn more about this unique insight into the business building process. All right, with that being said, guys, as always, we're going to let you know what not to do in network marketing, what our most popular products, normally $197, and yes, we've sold it $197. Is worth every penny of it. I can promise you that. Guess what? You're going to have an instant $150 savings over the next 24 hours. It's only $47. That's right, only $47. We do this because we want you to get exposed to our product line and our information. We want you to see how valuable this information is, how it can help you, how empowering it is. So we know that if we are able to get it into the hands of someone like yourself who's serious about success in this business, and you get exposed to this, you'll say, okay, I get it. This is really great information. This is something I can use. Look, what not to do in network marketing can help you become an unstoppable, focused business building machine. Who wouldn't want that, right? So, and who wouldn't want to save $150? It's a lifetime membership. You get 146 paragraphs in the ebook on 146 pages. No, I did not plan it that way. It just worked out that way. It's amazing. Along with 146 audio files that takes the paragraphs. We have real life examples in those audio files, and it takes those paragraphs and raises that knowledge and experience of yours to a higher level. Okay. And then many training videos to go along with that. Plus, there's a lot of surprise bonuses in there as well. So you can't beat the combination. For the next 24 hours, guys, $47. If you want an instant replay of today's podcast, along with a wonderful free gift, just visit our replay page. Just go to our website. As you know, themlmsolution.net, right? Themlmsolution.net. For all of you that are on the podcast, for everyone else, you can see it on the screen there. Themlmsolution.net. You just go there, click at the top of the page, podcast replay. And when you do, you're going to be taken to the page. And as you can see, you have a free gift. And yes, you're going to have to fill out a form. That's so we can keep spam down. All right. You want to fill out the form. It is not We're not doing any shenanigans there. There's no hidden agenda. You're going to get the free ebook link. All right. And here's the thing. And the free ebooks is always different. So you're going to be constantly getting exposed to different ebooks. Here's the thing, guys. When you fill out the form, you'll get that email right away. We're not going to send you sales emails. I don't like them. I don't write them. I don't even like setting up the email sequence program. It sucks. I don't like the whole process. So if I can get away from doing it, guess what? I'm not going to do it, which is good for you because you're going to say, okay, yeah, he's not going to be bombarding me with a bunch of emails. No, I'm going to send you the ebook. You may get another couple of emails, and that's a big may. I'm not even sure I'll do it. And I mean that sincerely. I haven't even done it yet. The thing is you may get a couple more emails with other free items in it saying, hey, since you downloaded this, you might be interested in this as well. And that'll be it. And yes, it comes with a lot of free bonuses as well. We always try to give a lot of great content with a lot of great, from a lot of different angles. And so we believe in over delivering because in this crazy world, it seems like people are just not, how would you say, forthright and not very customer focused, I guess. In other words, we want to make sure that you get more than what you bargained for. And I think that's a great way to go about it. All right, guys, with that being said, that's enough of that. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel, and same great content about this wonderful business model. Please let others know about us. Hashtag the MLM solution. Hashtag the MLM solution. I want to thank you guys for all you've done for us. I look at the numbers. I'm flattered. I'm honored. I'm humbled. Thank you guys so much. Continue to help us. Continue to watch us. Continue to follow us. And please let us know if you find this content helpful. Give us a thumbs up, dancing bear, dancing woman, clapping hands, smiley face, whatever the case may be. All right, guys. God bless. Take care. Be safe. We'll see you tomorrow. We are so thankful that you have been with us today. Take care. See you soon.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, themlmsolution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.